Hey folks, Steve here. How you doing? Lots of things in the works. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Channel's growing, and that's just really super cool. We're just shy of 1 million by about 997,000 subscribers. So, man, we're going to be there before you know it. So, and it's all thanks to you. So what I'm doing today, besides the update, is, and you might have seen this at the beginning of the video, maybe a little bit of preview, I'm going to take a little bit of time and I'm going to review some tools that I took with me on this cross-country venture, and I'll let you know my experiences on that. All right, well, let's get to it. So here are a few things right here before I put all this away. Plastic I bought before I left, and this was really about getting the plywood home. We didn't need any of this prior to picking up the plywood. So that plywood is actually wrapped in plastic because it had to survive 3 or 4 days on the road, and it's a good thing we did it because we went through torrential rainstorm. Also, bought the blue tape while I was out there just because it actually came in convenient for a lot of different small things. I took an extra jack. This is the jack that I carry with my trailer, and also the jack parts. Again, I carry with my trailer, so they just store up there in the nose. I pulled them out, threw them in my truck, so I had extra. I also have one of those flat jacks that, you know, 4 wheels. I'm not quite sure exactly what you call it, but I have like a Husky version. I don't know if it's a 3-ton or whatever it is. But anyway, it'll go from whatever the height of it is up to about 18 inches when you fully extend it. And I threw that on a cargo shelf that I had on the back of my truck, one of those metal cargo shelves. So I threw that on there, threw some bins on there, and just ratcheted it all down. In case we had a flat tire, I wanted to make sure that I had more than ample ability to jack up and make sure that I get the tire off, new tire on, whatever it was. Also, thinking about having to repair a tire, I also took this. I have down there an impact wrench, just rode with me in my truck, and I had the sockets that went along with it. And just so I had enough power and runtime, I went ahead and threw a 60-volt flex on there, 9 amp hour. That thing right there is a first aid kit. I went ahead and threw that in my truck as well. Normally that lives somewhere in the nose cone. Other than that, I took my tool belt and I just made sure that it was kind of fully loaded with a complement of hand tools, and that did come in handy. I did not use all those hand tools. I wasn't actually doing a project, but several of them. And then everything else went in this mid-sized DeWalt bag, and this is the bag that I'll unload for it. So it was that quick to put everything away. It wasn't really all that much, but it is super cool having some kind of a build out like this, van, truck, trailer, doesn't matter, and where, you know, everything has a place. And fortunately, in a design like this, things can go different places. If I don't like where that radio is, I can, you know, there are a couple of other places that radio could actually live in this trailer. So I like the modularity of it. However, everything really does have a place. Charged batteries right there, and if it's not charged, it goes on a charger anyway. So I do not need like a cavity for dead batteries. There's just no point to that. I love the organization. I love the efficiency, getting tools out, using those tools, putting the tools back, knowing what I have, knowing that I haven't lost anything. Because on a job site, if I set something down, I come back in, I'm loading up at the end of the night, and it's easy to tell there's something missing in here for especially the larger things and the mid-sized things, you know, larger tools, mid-sized tools, small hand tools, you know, like a chisel, something like that. You know, I may or may not catch that because it's not like I have a Kaizen foam drawer, you pull it out, you know, and you have 7 chisels, all cutouts, and the middle chisel's missing. I don't have that. I'm not that nuts. So thank you very much for sticking with me, folks. You have a great day. You deserve it. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Channel's growing, and it's all because of you, and it's fun. I hope sharing really motivates you to go out there and do something, or maybe you don't do it the way I did. It's like, man, that Spence is whacked. I'm not doing it that way, but I could do it this other way. And if that's the case, then through negative reinforcement, I have done my job, right? It's as opposed to positive. Well, I think that's all for this time. If you ring that bell, you'll get notified when I drop new videos. I'm not on any particular schedule, and that way you'll have the choice of saying, yep, nope, don't want that one, or hey, this looks interesting. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Lots of things in the works. First off, I've got this. Move around here. Lending library. It's painted, it has to be coated, and I have to put a roof on it, but I'll roof it once it's in place. So I have to mount it outside at the alley and then load it with books. We have the doors right there mounted already to the face frame. The doors need to be painted, and I need to buy glass and put the glass in. And I'll put the glass in after it's painted. One less step. I think I have a video not edited yet about that red bag there. Go Richard, repairs and renovations out of Michigan. I won that in one of his giveaways. Hadn't won something in a long time. Naturally, it'd be red. And lots of things going on. I have this lower drawer bank behind everything that needs to actually have the drawers assembled. All the pieces are there. I just have to assemble that, and then that level of that bit of organization will be finished. Load the tools, label it. Just really more for my wife than anything, but it also labeling gets me used to where the tools are when I put them there. This is a fairly clean space now. I know it might not look like it, but actually we have a lot of open floor space. Those bins are all on casters. I don't know if you can see the casters. Got an actual library behind it, and then my workbench and everything, which is fairly picked up. We've been painting, so you know we got that stuff out there. All right, let's go outside. Oh, whoa! Welcome brightness. We just returned yesterday after we drove 8,700 and some change miles, 8,700 miles from the upstate New York area where I live down to LA where my son lives, picked up a bunch of furniture and got a U-Haul trailer, picked up a bunch of furniture at his old apartment. He has a house now, and took that all the way up to Oregon, moved my daughter into an apartment complex up there, and then got rid of the U-Haul, back down to LA, longer extended visit with my son and his girlfriend, and then home. So, you know, all of that over almost 30 days. On the way home, we left LA, and in one day, because it's a 10-hour drive, we went to Salt Lake City, Utah. In South Salt Lake City, Utah, there happens to be a business there called Reparadise. Reparadise is where Ron Polk says to get the lightweight plywood. I got the lightweight plywood. I stopped in. I called before I left on the trip. I called the day before we left Utah just to make sure that they could retail me, because they're not a plywood place. They are a company that retrofits or outfits new vans, old vans, RVs, things like that with custom cabinetry and everything else. So they remodel these things, or they model them. And they happen to use the lightweight plywood because the weight and the structural integrity to build cabinets out of it. Well, I can't actually show you, but right here it is. This is 11 sheets of 3/4. Now, the magic is not only in this ultra lightweight plywood, 51 pounds a sheet, as opposed to AC plywood stuff I get, just regular AC plywood is 67 pounds, 51 pounds. So I'm building benches out of this. This is 2 benches right here and a couple of extra things. And underneath this, and I can't show you that either, I've got to get the plywood unloaded. I bought one of Ron Polk's pre-made benches that you just have to assemble. I figured I would do that because I can use the tabletop, the bench top, with the MFT holes. Because they are CNC fabricated, then I actually have a perfect template for laying out manually 2 additional bench tops. So the idea is that I want to build a smart station, and I want to build an additional workbench, a 3x6, I think he calls it the smart bench. And I bought all these plans. So I had the most up-to-date plans, and I also want to build the carts. So I have all this plywood in order to make all of that happen. Very excited. So these will be fall projects. I was gone a month, and I had hoped that the guy I was working with would have had the opportunity to wrap up or get very close to wrapping up a job that we were on before I left. Unfortunately, we are the victims of letting our homeowners, our clients, get parts. Because they were getting parts, they ordered stuff. What happened was they ordered 5 doors, and these doors out of our local building company, these doors took 3 weeks longer than expected to come in. And so they just came in about a week ago and will be delivered to the house on Monday. And I was hoping to come back in and either have nothing to do and just call the job quits and we're done, or call the job done and be done, not quit. Or come in and be able to just roll through and trim, you know, the fun stuff. None of that's happening. So hopefully, you know, we'll be able to wrap that up in the next couple of weeks. I'm back to school as a school teacher, and so I can't put in full-time days, unfortunately. And that's what the whole summer was supposed to be before we left on this trip, is to be able to work on this project full-time days and wrap it up before I left. Oh well, that didn't happen, so we are doing the best that we can. So that's life as we know it at the SDS Construction YouTube channel. Well, I'm here.